A very good evening and welcome to yet another edition of the S101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I'm Jad Abdin. We start off with a look at your headlines.
Newsfirst headline.
And in headlines, Supreme Court issues interim order suspending government's decision to switch e-visa services to foreign companies. 4 more candidates deposit bonds for presidential election. To fully address the water problem in the north, the River for Jaffna project will commence immediately. Venerable Kalaboda Gnanissara Thera passes away aged 81 years. US recognizes Maduro's opponent as winner in Venezuela election. IPL franchises ask for 2-year ban on overseas players pulling out after being brought at auction. And in your top story, the Supreme Court today issued an interim order suspending the government's decision to hand over e-visa services to foreign companies. Accordingly, the court ordered that visa services be implemented under the existing system. Members of Parliament, partly Champika Ranawaka, Rauf Hakim and M.A. Sumandiran filed petitions emphasizing the risks posed by the e-visa system. They argue that this system could potentially expose sensitive national security information threatening the country's security. The petitioners request an order to cancel the relevant system. The petitioners stress that the tourism industry is facing a precarious situation following the Cabinet's decision to change the existing system. The petitioners emphasized on the public losing faith in the government due to the rising prices of visas. The petitioners claim that the fundamental rights of the general public are violated and demanded that the interim order be issued suspending the government's decision to hand over e-visa services to foreign companies. The petition named 32 parties including the Immigration and Immigration Controller, the Attorney General and the Minister of Public Security as respondents. Petitions are scheduled to be called on the 4th October. And also in more local news, 4 candidates deposited bonds for the presidential election today. Sarath Manamendra deposited bonds on behalf of the new Sinhala heritage. Venerable Battaramulle Sila Ratana Thero deposited bonds on behalf of the Janaseta Peramuna. W.B. Ratnayaka and Delkandra Rachilage Sanchiva Kumara Gunaratna also deposited bonds today. Accordingly, the number of candidates who have deposited bonds for the 2024 presidential election is 14. And also in more local news, President Ranil Wickremesinghe declared the immediate initiation of the River for Jaffna project, which is designed to provide a comprehensive solution to the water scarcity issues in the northern region of Sri Lanka. The President made these remarks while attending the opening of the Talayadi seawater desalination plant, part of the Jaffna-Kilinochchi water supply project, this morning. President Wickremesinghe further stated that President Wickremesinghe further stated that it has been 15 years since the end of the civil war in the north. He emphasized the need for everyone to continue working together on development and expressed his goal to transform the north into a developed province within the next 5 to 10 years. The Talayadi seawater desalination plant, part of the Jaffna-Kilinochchi water supply project, is managed by the National Water Supply and Drainage Board under the Ministry of Water Supply and Estate Infrastructure Development with financial support from the Asian Development Bank and the Government of Sri Lanka. To address the drinking water needs of Jaffna and Kilinochchi, the Government of Sri Lanka launched the Jaffna-Kilinochchi District Water Supply and Sanitation Project in 2011 with support from the Asian Development Bank and the French Development Bank. And also in more local news, chief incumbent of the Gangaramya Temple, Venerable Kalaboda Gnanissara Thera, passes away at the age of 81 years. He had been ill for some time and died today while undergoing treatment at a private hospital. Born in 1943 in the village of Kalboda in Matara Municipal Council, Gnanissara Thera was ordained on the 8th November 1954. At the age of 16, he assumed the administration of the temple and subsequently initiated numerous community service projects in Sri Lanka. These projects primarily focused on vocational education, shelters for homeless children and elderly people, and sanitation. And up next is international news.
International news.
And in news overseas, the United States on Thursday recognized Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's opponent and opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as the winner of Venezuela's disputed presidential election, rejecting Maduro's claim of victory. Opening new tabs, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in a statement said that given the overwhelming evidence, it is clear to the United States and most importantly to the Venezuelan people that Edmundo Gonzalez won the most votes in Venezuela's July 28th presidential election. The announcement from Washington did not go beyond congratulating him for a successful campaign, the closest U.S. has come since Sunday's contested election to recognizing Gonzalez as the OPEC nation's new leader. And up next, is your update on sports.
Sports news.
And in sports, the IPL franchises have recommended a 2-year ban on overseas players should they make themselves unavailable for the season after being bought at the auction without legitimate cause. They have also told the IPL to make it mandatory for overseas players to register for the mega auction and not just enter mini auctions anticipating potentially large price tags. According to ESPN Cricinfo, all 10 franchises agreed on those 2 points during their meeting with the IPL on Wednesday. And with that, we wrap up this edition of the S101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Joad Abdin. Thank you for watching. Good night and take care.